Welcome to Thoughts Off the Stem. Thank you for joining the sesh with me, Justin Barone. I had a question for you this week. Why don't we get the giggles as much? When we first start smoking weed, we get the giggles. Like, I remember the first time I smoked weed, I was giggling like an idiot within an hour, right? At dumb shit too. Like, a friend of mine, a buddy of mine in our circle, I smoked with like 6 guys. Once we moved from the smoking area to the basement and got relaxed, dude said poop, and we were laughing for like idiots for like an hour, 2 hours. I'm not sure how long it was, but it was just nonstop laughter. Like, you know those nights when you were young and you get the giggles and you just can't stop no matter what you do. Once you start, you're gone, you know? It was like that. So what happens? Because over time, I started smoking, or over time, since I've been smoking on a regular basis, it's less likely that I get the giggles. Like, there's a couple strains that'll do it for me, and there's a couple products that I'll smoke on a regular if I want to have the laughs. But for the most part, like, you can't just smoke weed and giggle now. Is it the weed or is it the people? That's my question, because part of me thinks that the giggles, like, once they start to dissipate, it's because you're using it too frequently, and it's becoming too normalized, and your body is becoming very like accustomed to being high. So you don't get the giggle as much. But then there's also obviously like a bajillion different strains. So when you're smoking these different strains, you know what happens? You get used to them. And then you find things that you like. And then you go down a pattern of like, oh, I want to be sleepy time high or comfy high, right? So then you end up smoking that more often. And then it's harder to find some of the strains that make you laugh. Because when I smoke weed, I like to smoke weed to have fun. I don't know about you, but that's my thing. Like, I don't really drink that much. Occasionally I'll have a few drinks here and there, but I don't really do it. And I would prefer to smoke a joint, giggle, and go to sleep later. You know what I'm saying? So what happened to the giggles? Where did the giggles go? And why is it so hard now to find something that can make you giggle? Because there's very few products that actually like enforce the giggles. People say sativas. Yeah, sure, sativas give you a bit of the giggles. But I think that there's more to it than that. It's not just a sativa, because there's other sativas that I smoke where I'm wired, dude. Like, it feels like I had 42 cups of coffee, and that's all that, like, I'm just amped up like that. So I'm running like full steam, like balls to the wall. So not every sativa makes you giggle. Some sativas make you super paranoid. That's like the opposite of giggling, you know? It's so dry today. So what happened to the giggles? That's my question. Where did the giggles go? So, of course, to answer this question, I looked some shit up. That's right. I went to Green Health Docs, because there's very little. If you didn't know, there's very little on why, when you smoke weed, what happens in your brain. Like, I mean, essentially, it's this. You smoke THC. THC gives you a level of euphoria, a level of comfort, and a level of relaxation. The dopamine dump from your brain accepting the THC gives you that, like, ooh, let's have fun. And then comes the giggles. But there's no like, oh, well, the medulla oblongata functions this way, and then the next thing you know, you're a laughing hyena. Like, that's what I was trying to find. There's none of that, really. So a lot of this stuff is just like trial and error when it comes to finding a strain that'll make you laugh. I have products that I go to when I'm looking for the giggles. If I really want the giggles, there's 2 products that I'll use. This joint is not one of them. Okay? This joint that I'm smoking is wonder weed. As in, I wonder what this weed is. Because it was just in my stash jar and I didn't bother to label it, So I don't really know what I'm smoking. I know it's a sativa. I know that the types of sativas that I like to find stuff that like warms up your cheeks, gives you a little bit of a perma-smile. Like, what's with the perma-smile? Again, there's no definitive, like, researched, scientifically studied paper that tells you why you're smiling and why you're having a good time and why you're laughing. But a lot of the stuff really just says, well, serotonin and THC. I get that, but there has to be like specific areas of the brain that are being like highlighted and firing off when you're smoking weed that makes you laugh, right? Like it has to be, no? That's what I'm curious about. That's what I want to know. I want to know what parts of the brain are, losing their shit, and that's why you're giggling like an idiot. I also like to go to comedy shows, smoke a joint, and then giggle like an idiot. But again, this is where you realize that not every strain will make you giggle. Because I smoked an indica and went to a comedy show, and I didn't laugh once. The dude was funny too, but I didn't laugh because my brain was just, I don't know. So there's got to be specific properties to weed that help you laugh. It can't just be like, oh, take, Sage and Sour's, what's it called? No, it's called Sage and Sour. MTL's Sage and Sour, and be like, okay, you're going to laugh, even though if you put that in an edible, it's a sativa, and it'll make you giggle like a dummy, but it's got CBG in it. So, over my trying to figure out and researching of all this stuff, I think that the major thing that makes you laugh is the cannabinoid CBG. I've done another podcast about it before. I called it Feel Real Good About Being You for No Reason. I always explain it as feel good about being you for no fucking reason. Because as soon as you smoke some CBG, even if there's no THC involved, you get this like happier, laughier, more fun time result. And Sage and Sour from MTL Cannabis, you giggle like an idiot. Well, guess what it's got? It's got CBG. You use the pineapple starfruit vape from Spinach, and it's got CBG, and you giggle like an idiot. What else was there? There's a couple gummies out there that have CBG. A lot of people have started putting CBG in. With the addition of CBG into some of these products, this is where I start to realize that, CBG is the thing that makes you laugh. It's not really THC. Like, sure, there's some other weed that I've smoked where, it's not the potency level though. It's the type of weed. So the components that make you laugh is the actual cannabinoid makeup or the terp makeup is really what's contributing to your giggle factor. So when I checked out greenhealthdocs.com and I was looking for their answers as to why I'm smoking weed, I actually started looking up first, why don't I laugh anymore? The only conclusion that I came to, the reason you don't laugh as much after you've smoked a lot is that, or smoked on a consistent basis, have become a regular user of marijuana. The reason that you're not laughing as much is because your tolerance is too high. And I've noticed that as my tolerance goes up, there's no middle ground. Like when I was younger, you smoke a little bit, you're a little high. And then you smoke a little bit more, and then you're medium high. And then you smoke a little bit more, and you're a little above medium high. And then you smoke a little more, and you're too high. You go right to green out. I find as I get older, I go from I'm good high to I want a little more high. And I go to take that little more high. And the next thing you know, I end up as too high. Okay? There's no giggle medium, there's no spaced out medium. You have to get there at the first shot or you overshoot it. That for me. So I think that as you get older, it's your tolerance that really cuts down the giggle factor because you get too used to it. It's like an alcoholic, right? When you first start drinking, you get wasted, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, if you do it for long periods of time, you're a functioning alcoholic. You can handle yourself. You can talk better. You can think. You can, some people can actually hold down jobs and do stuff. Well, I think it's the same with weed where you get better at using it. You get to be a more professional user, where the overall effects that generally mess with most people don't really hold you down as much or don't really affect you as much. So I looked up why don't I laugh anymore? I couldn't find anything on it. And I eventually ended up coming across this article that says, why does weed make me laugh? Plus more facts about happiness, giggling, and marijuana. This is from Green Health Docs. but it had a deeper response as to why this is happening than almost every other post that I found. So in this one, it just goes through a bunch of the stuff that I just explained to you. And then I think that, where is it? So it goes through, again, different strains may do it, but I don't find it. But there are, like I said, there is a terpene profile that's a good makeup, or a good chance that it will help you laugh more if you're trying to find the giggles in your smoking experience. Limonene is one of the first terps that lend itself to giggling. It's the likeliest to make you laugh. I don't agree with that. It's limonene tastes like it's got like this piney, like lemony flavor to it. I guess lemony more than anything. It'll give you a little giggle, but not like CBG, dude. Maybe it's the most effective at making you laugh for a terpene. It's got to be, because terpenes are non-psychoactive, whereas CBG is definitely a cannabinoid that lends itself in the entourage effect to amplifying happiness and laughter, whereas limonene is more of like a flavor and an aroma, but ultimately it's supposed to also help you get the giggles. Caryophyllene just relaxes you. It makes you calmer. It gives you a little of that peppery taste. So I guess when you're more relaxed, you laugh more. You're more susceptible to having fun and a good time and giggling like an idiot. Myrcene. Myrcene is what is myrcene? Oh yeah, sedative terpene. It can reduce anxiety, making it another favorite within indica strains. More of an indica, but it's a sedative. It relaxes you. It cuts back on anxiety. So again, if you're not anxious and you're not freaking out or you're not worried, then the giggles floating right on in, right? Linalool. If you don't know what linalool is, it's like the foundation for indicas. Okay. Which again is relaxation. So maybe that's the whole thing, is that there's there's a direct relation between the more likely you are to giggle to the more relaxed you are. I feel like you have to have CBG within the buildup of that makeup of that plant. But anything that will relax you, take away anxiety. I mean, I bet you that's where the perma-smile comes from, right? Like have you ever smoked weed? Take a couple hits and the next thing you know, you're like, your lips are like slowly curling up because you're just so super happy about it. Pinene. Jesus. Oh, damn. That's a dry throat, and I just took a big puff of that. That relight is not good. I think this weed might be getting too old. Excuse me. Pinene is another one. It's like limonene, where it gives you that piney flavor. It's like Pledge, right? Pledge has pinene in it. You spray your table, you wipe it down, it smells like lemon. And then when you're done, you're all upbeat and you feel good about yourself, right? So all of these terps have a nice little balance of relaxation and giving you that like happy, clean, embracing feeling, right? So there's got to be a mixture of, like, you can't just have 32 THC in a sativa and the next thing you know you're giggling. You're probably really high, but I feel like you'd be more confused if you didn't have some of these terpenes involved, as well as like CBG. Humulene. I forget what humulene is. Humulene gives you that earthy smell. It is a stress reliever. See, again, another stress reliever. So that's why you get the giggles. So I think the reason that you lose the giggles is that you end up building up too big a tolerance to it. And once you have too high a tolerance, I mean, you're pretty well screwed. But that also brings me to a point that, like, I just realized as I was doing some of these sessiosodes, and thinking about some of the weed stuff that I talk about. I always shit on bad weed, right? Or like cheap weed as not being the weed that you should go out and buy. I talk as if I do only buy specific things, but I talk as if I only buy Um, the top of the line. Well, here's the thing, okay? I just realized when I was taking stock of the type of weed that I like that my two favorite, essentially, types of weed or products, we'll say, my two favorite products that I could smoke on a daily basis or use on a daily basis or whatever are what you would consider to be cheap or cheaper um like bargain weed. So like I said, there's a couple things that will actually get me to giggle anytime I want to giggle. One of them is my spinach CBG pineapple starfruit vape cartridge. Dude, that thing, I could smoke it a few times and I giggle like an idiot every time. Like, granted, it's a vape cart, so it's more potent. It's not just flour, but um, I smoke anytime I ingest that product, whether it's in a vape cart or a gummy, because that's how I use that. It hits the same every time. I know exactly what's going to happen. I know that I'm going to laugh and giggle and have a good time. The other one is it's a Shred'ems one. What's it called? Give me a second. I gotta remember. I want to say Mega Melon, but it's not Mega Melon. That's a CBD one. Guava Lime Go Time. That one has THCA. So I guess THCA can also give you a bit of the giggles because it's like THCA is the most. It's like diamonds going essentially being added to your gummy bear. But those two things, this pineapple starfruit vape cart, and I on the had a guava lime go time cart, mine broke and I never got a new one because I never found it again. And then I generally eat the not guava lime go time. Did I say that? Yeah, guava lime go time. Jesus, I'm getting a little bit high. I don't know what that joint was, but it was good. Hope you're enjoying the sesh. Thanks for sticking around this long. So the guava lime go time ones are THCA. They're tasty, and they have some of the same properties as some of these terps. Like some of these terps are in it, and no CBG though. But that seems to give you a pretty good giggle. But I think it's because it's the type is that it makes you more social, right? And the things that make you more social, I think, make you a little bit more susceptible to having that giggle fest with your buddies. So those are the two products that I use that I know that I can giggle off of. There's nothing else. Like sage and sour as a flower, yes, I know that I can smoke it, but I'm not giggling every single time. I have to be in the right frame of mind when I smoke that stuff and have that giggle result. With these two cheaper, literally, like the cheapest ones you can get. I think the vape card itself is like, well, it was when I got it, was like $30, which is relatively inexpensive. May have been a little cheaper. And then the gummies, the Guava Lime Go Time gummies, those things are only like $5. But it's only 10 milligrams, so you got to buy a few packs, right, with the gummies. But again, exact same result. So there has to be something where your body just adapts to you. That's why you got to find your strain, right? Then your body, you'll find the thing that'll make it for you all the time. And then it doesn't matter if you have high tolerance or not, because for whatever reason, you've found the product that gets through all that. And no matter if you smoke it like one time, like one puff, or you smoke it for a half an hour, you're getting the same result every single time, which is rare to find. But yeah, this gives me the perma smiles and the giggles every single time, dude. So if you're looking for the giggles and you can't find the giggles, and you're looking for that like perma smile, upbeat, fun time high, like right now, I got a little. I feel it in my face. I'm a little warm in the face. I feel giggly. Um, I'm like excited about nothing. you know. Um, I want to do stuff. Like that's where I'm at, and that makes it happen every time. And I also know that I'm going to giggle. Like when I go talk to people later, I'm going to say some dumb shit. It's going to be fun. I don't remember where I was going with that. I just got really high. Like, the high just hit me. So yeah. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you're looking to add the giggles back to your smoking experience, maybe give the pineapple starfruit vape from Spinach a try, and give Guava Lime Go Time either gummies, or if you can find the vape cart, give that a try, because those two things seem to really do it for me. Where you get a reminiscent back in the day original high, especially if you've been smoking for a while. And I would like to find more information on what actually happens in your brain. I'll keep looking it up when you get high that makes you feel the emotions you're feeling. That's what I want to read about. Those are my thoughts off the step for this week. Thank you for joining me, Justin Barone, your friendly neighborhood pothead, on Thoughts Off the Stem. I hope you come back next week. Join the sesh on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, YouTube, Podchaser, Podbean, Good Pods, Pandora, wherever you get a podcast. It's out there, baby. Until next time. Oh, wait, I forgot. Also check out tots420.com for the transcripts and some blogs and links to all the episodes and new episodes when they come out. And that's about it. Don't forget to subscribe to all the channels. Leave me a like. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you want to see or hear if you've made it this far. Not that I need ideas. I have lots of ideas, but I want to give you what you want. So let me know what you want, and I'll incorporate it into the show. Until next time, keep your lids low, baby.